Hey, you haven't responded an email. We're dropping you. Let's save your GPA.
Definitely. Well, it's good to see you guys. And Jeff, thanks for being here.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Um, so just Becky, good to see you, and Emmanuel's here. And just to give you a heads up about the faculty network, and actually I'll just kind of give a little brief reminder of what the faculty network call is for those who are new to the call. But Repairing Schools is excited to host this faculty network webinar series. It's a monthly call or webinar. And in the past, we have been hosting this for a long time, but in the past, it's been a little bit more of like, and for those who have been on it for a while, like Becky, maybe a little bit of like a social hour. We kind of chit chat, we share what we've been up to. But recently, within the last year, we've kind of given a little bit more thought to how this could be a little bit more of a useful time. And so this year we're bringing in speakers. So for 15 to 20 minutes of the call, introducing all of these educators to something new, maybe a best practice in research, maybe a really new cool course that was developed, maybe an interesting industry partnership that a university has. Just in hopefully enriching this experience. And then, of course, the second half of the call, we open it up for an around the room and we get to hear from each other. So just to set some expectations for you, Jeff, this network is over 100 educators, but depending on the semester, it just depends on who's going to show up. So it looks like we've got a nice handful of folks here. And I'm just going to run through some updates and announcements from Repairing Schools, and then Jeff, I'll hand it over to you. Did you have slides that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I put together just a quick and dirty slideshow. I don't know if I'll be able to take up 20 minutes with it, but hopefully we
That's
can
fine. Up
with
to 20
discussion. I do
minutes
have
is
some slides.
fine. Yeah,
So I'll take
definitely.
over sharing my screen at some point. But
Awesome. Okay, well, I will not take up too much time, and we are recording this. So for those in the network that aren't able to make the call due to their class schedules, we will send this link out and it'll go on our YouTube channel. So folks can see it afterwards. But welcome to everybody who's here. Thank you for showing up. I just wanted to, again, run through a little bit of an update from Repairing Schools. This is just kind of a fun image I thought would be nice for you guys to see. If your university or organization isn't on there, let me know. But we do try to keep track and recognize all of the universities that we're working with throughout the country to illustrate the breadth of what we're doing here. We do have a lot of industry sponsors that are always looking for work in a particular state. So it's great for us to have you partners here, and hopefully that means we can bring even more resources to you in the future as we share this impactful graphic. I did want to kind of update you on some of our programs. It's been tough. I'm sure that's not any news to you all. But with that, the seed funding program is done. We have, for the last couple of years, had the seed funding program that was funded specifically from NREL. We do not foresee that happening in the coming years. I'm sure you're all not surprised that federal funding is pretty limited. But we do hope that we are going to have corporate sponsors coming on board that will want to continue the funding. And we're going to try to use the same procedure that we have been. We apply, it's like on a semester basis. When you're selected, we're going to give you a first allotment, and then after your project is complete and an impact report has been submitted, we'll submit a second allotment to kind of keep you guys honest. We will continue to encourage industry mentors, especially from the sponsor organizations, to be involved with your projects. And then, of course, we always invite the faculty advisor and a couple of students to come and share their research at an industry conference and participate in a conference experience and or a student symposium. And we do have a sponsorship that has been pledged that has seed funding in it. So I am anticipating there to be dollars in here in the spring, but I just don't know what they're going to look like in terms of how much it will be and what the focus will be. It depends on what our sponsor wants. We are continuing to support conference experiences and student symposia, so we will be at the following events in the coming year. We're going to be at REpS next week, but we will continue in 2026 to support all of these events. Just kind of scroll through these pretty quickly. In February is the IPF Offshore Conference. It's in New York City. We will bring a handful, maybe a dozen students to that. This QR code brings your students to like an interest form. We'll be having active application open a little bit later in the year. Also in February is our Distributed Wind Conference, where we also host a student symposium, usually wind focused. And that's in Arlington in February. Then a big hiatus. I mean, we may or may not be at Clean Power in May. Right now, probably not just because of lack of funds. But we do hope to be at the American Solar Energy Society's Solar 2026 conference, which is in October in Texas. We did a symposium there this year, solar focused. It was super fun, and they're excited to have us back. These are some pictures from our poster session, the career fair, the industry panel, and our field trip. And then we are continuing to support our college student network. We meet not weekly, pardon me. We meet monthly on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock. So if you have students that you think would benefit from this, we hear from lots of great people. This month, we're going to be hearing from the American Solar Energy Society, and we're going to have a discussion around student chapters and how to start a student chapter at your university. So that should be a really fun way to kick off our season. And then we'll have various industry professionals throughout the rest of the academic year. And those are the big announcements from my end of things. I'll open it up quickly in case you guys have any questions, because I kind of threw a lot at you. But I also want to make sure we have time to talk to Jeff and then hear from you all. Did anybody have a question? Awesome. Well, like I said, this faculty network this year, we're putting a little bit of a new spin to invite someone here to speak to you for the first 15 to 20 minutes of each of our sessions, in hopes that we are gaining some new insight each month when we meet, and hopefully we'll get more people to show up. And so we've invited Jeff here. Jeff is with an organization called Ingenuity, and they have a really cool tool that we found, and we're like, I think our college network really needs to see and learn a little bit more about some of the cool technology that Ingenuity has and how you might apply it in your classroom. So with that, Jeff, I don't want to steal any of your thunder, so I will hand it off to you, and you should be able to share your screen.
Yeah, can you guys see my screen right now?
Looks great.
Cool. So I put together a quick and dirty presentation, but before I dive into it, just some background. So thank you for the introduction, Remy. My name is Jeff. I work for a company called Ingenuity here in Denver, but Ingenuity actually started in Australia, and we are an engineering group. We're just nerds for hire. We do product development for other companies that aren't Apple and Samsung with thousands of engineers on staff 24/7. Small to mid-sized businesses who need to develop kind of new advanced technology products, but don't have a huge staff of engineers. So that's our business model, but you can imagine with a bunch of nerds all working together. Sometimes we have on lots of other people's products, sometimes we have some of our own ideas. And so Pocket is it's a product that we developed at Ingenuity and spun out. We developed it internally. We weren't hired by an external group to develop this. It was kind of an idea that our engineers came up with, I think, during COVID. And it has been spun out as a startup. So the Pocket group, I work for Ingenuity. Pocket is actually an Australian startup. It was spun out from our Australian group at Ingenuity. But this is like 3 a.m. for Australia. And so I'm jumping on to share the Pocket with you all. So that's the background. Pocket is a really cool device. I've got one here. I actually left mine that's paired with my phone at home. But as a nerd, I love this thing. It is a multimeter. It is a oscilloscope and It's also a data logger that connects to your phone over Bluetooth. Very small. The Pocket Pro goes up to 600 volts and can do up to like 10 amps of current measurement. Cool little device. You can leave it logging data for up to 6 months. Um, and, you know, Ingenuity here, actually, before I dive into the Pocket too much, I'll share a little bit about Ingenuity. Like I said, we're nerds for hire, engineers for hire, but we have this internal mantra of let's make the world a better place while we're making products. And so from that standpoint, we try to take on projects that make the world a better place. We do a lot of advanced medical devices. We're working with some folks in NREL, really trying to get some products out in the clean energy space. And we give back. We give to charity every year. We give a fixed portion, a significant portion of our profit to charities. We've dug dozens of wells. We've done microfinancing. We actually just did our round of voting last week on what our charitable contributions would be. All of the engineers get to vote on, I think we had 12 options this year, and we did ranked choice voting, which, anyways, we use ranked choice voting and vote on what issues we'd like to give back to. But so when I started talking to some of the folks in NREL who helped spin up Repowering Schools, I learned that Charles specifically, Charles Newcomb, the Pocket Pro is one of his favorite little devices. And he was coming up with all sorts of interesting ways to teach with it. And so Ingenuity likes to give back. We support STEM education. We sponsored a local robotics hackathon here in Denver. We're giving a symposium here in a few weeks on to entrepreneurs on how to develop hardware products. And so, our missions line up really well with what you guys are all working on in Repowering Schools. And so we're excited to hear that at least someone in Repowering Schools likes the Pocket. And we're working with Remy to work out some sort of sponsorship deal. It might be starting with just giving out a bunch of Pocket Pros, but also potentially sponsoring some learning competitions or something along those lines. So with that said, I'll show you all a little bit about the Pocket Pro, and I spoke with my team just to get some ideas down on how they thought you could potentially teach with it. I think at the very least we're going to give Remy and Repowering Schools a bunch of these for free to give out, as well as possibly offer an educational discount or something like that to teachers and students who want to get their hands on these. But the Pocket Pro is basically it's an all-in-one portable device. It can be a multimeter, it can be a oscilloscope, and we've got scopes here in the office. The big lab scopes, but we often when we're working on products or projects, we'll just grab a little Pocket and hook it up, just because it's so much easier to have it carry around in your back pocket. Because it's portable, it means you can take measurements in the field. So if you want to go hook up to a solar panel and view the change in the oscilloscope as, I don't know, you get cloud cover or something like that. That's something you can do with the Pocket. You can take it out there. You can log all of the data. You can bring it back to the classroom and view that data. Because it's just working with a smartphone, it's very approachable for the younger generation. Like I said, I talked to my team and tried to come up with some ideas on what you could do with Pocket in the school. I don't work in education. My wife does. And so I got some of her feedback on this, although she's an English teacher, not a physics or engineering professor. So take these with a grain of salt. But with a Pocket, you can measure voltage and current under different loads. You can show how voltage and current behave under different lighting on solar panels or under different wind conditions with a wind turbine. The oscilloscope function lets you visualize those fluctuations. Data logging lets you track the energy production across an entire day. You can reinforce concepts like IV curves, efficiency, and real world limitations of some of these renewable energy applications. So lots of things you can do there. I thought about kind of wind turbines and what you could do with these. Charles, who is the reason that I'm talking to you all, is a wind turbine NREL guy, and that's been his primary use. So he has a bunch of ideas on what to do with the pocket and the wind energy. But again, you can use the oscilloscope to display the raw waveforms. We've got frequency analysis that can help you reveal the harmonics and the noise, which might affect grid quality. Students can compare calm versus turbulent wind conditions and actually visualize that, see that, hook it up to wind turbines in the field or in the wind tunnel without carrying around this giant scope and a huge battery to go with it. And it's a great way to explain why like stable frequency is essential for renewable integration. You can also use it for battery profiling, so you can log charge and discharge cycles. Like I said, you can hook these up and leave them as a data logger for months. You can view the data on your phone. You can save data with buttons, both on the pocket as you're viewing data. You can save mins and max, or you can save with buttons in the phone. You can capture transient spikes when like a load is connected or removed. We've got temperature sensor as well, so you can track temperatures, the batteries warm up under load, and use it to teach critical concepts like internal resistance, life cycle, and energy storage efficiency. And again, I am not an educator. You all know much better what you can do, what you can teach with an oscilloscope and a multimeter in the renewable energy world. But I'm just putting this out there as something you can do portably.
Yeah, you've definitely got the right audience, Jeff. I mean, these are great suggestions, but these guys could take this to a whole new level, I'm sure, once we get them in their hands.
I am sure that they'll have much better ideas on how to teach with this than we did. Other lessons that I just kind of thought of was grid versus microgrid and kind of showing how systems just behave during disturbances. You can look at power factor and demonstrate inductive and capacitive loads and why power factor correction matters. Temperature effects, you can log performance in hot versus cool conditions. The logging functionality is one of my favorite features of the Pocket. It's the one I use most commonly here in our labs. And then time versus frequency, you can see how noisy waveforms can be broken down into components and kind of break down what's going on there. So that is about the gist of that is the end of my slide and the gist of my understanding on how we can do these educationally. And I would love to hear from all of you and also get some of these in your hands and see what you're able to do in the real world. So our website is pocketmeter.com. We will be sending some pockets to you, Remy. We've still got to work out the details on that, I believe. But we're excited to support repowering schools. We love what you guys are doing, teaching renewable energy. I went to CU Boulder and did a certificate on renewable energy. There was a partnership with NREL that changed the course of my career. So big supporter, love what you all are doing. And please reach out if you have any questions or interest and would like to get one of these pockets in your hands.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeff. I'll open it up for questions. I mean, you guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts and your ideas. We haven't really solidified this plan. So if you have ideas of like, if you got one of these in your hands, what could you do with it? Not just classroom, but like, I don't know. I'm open to ideas. So love to hear from you. Not all at once, guys.
Remy, I think it'd be a great idea to be able to use it with our teacher ed program. We have 2 solar arrays on our farm. We have another one that's just under construction right now. It's going to be part of an agrivoltaics project. So our students could be able to take the tool right out to the field and take some measurements. Also like to see how it could be used on a residential basis. Could, somebody who has a rooftop array, would they be able to utilize that? So we show it in a different environment.
Yeah, or could you even use it a little bit like a kilowatt meter to understand like how much appliances are consuming? Interesting.
Yeah,
Ed. I'll let Jeff talk.
you, I've got I might share my screen here one more time real quickly. I forgot to mention we have a new product coming out. So the Pocket Pro that I was showing you is our second generation. The initial one was actually just this pocket little keychain, up to 60-volt multimeter. And the new product that we're working on is the Pocket Clamp. I don't know when that's going to start shipping to consumers. I haven't even gotten my hands on the prototype, but it's out for pre-order right now, and we'd love to support Repowering Schools with this. But you can big power measurement tool, so you can clamp this and measure kilowatt hours of energy long term. It's intended for kind of long term logging,
Cool.
as well. So that'll be coming out in a few months here, and that would be really cool to kind of, hook up to a solar array on your rooftop, see what you're generating, turn on your appliances, see what you're drawing. A lot of potential uses there.
So Jeff, that product you were showing there, it would just clamp around a cable coming
Yep.
off the module. Okay.
Yeah.
So
You clamp it around a cable and just start logging.
great.
And Ed, do you just want to introduce yourself just to give context for Jeff, where you teach?
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Ed Franklin. I'm a associate professor at the University of Arizona, and I teach students agriculture technology management. We're using solar and wind energy integration into agriculture.
Nice.
Awesome. Anybody else have any comments or thoughts? It's a pretty cool tool. Awesome. Well, Jeff, I think it's really neat. I'm excited to work with you guys and see if we were to get some of these and offer them out to our faculty network, what these guys could come up with in terms of maybe labs around them, or better ideas on how we can use them for education. And anybody else on this call, would you be interested in one of these if we were to get them? Just kind of give me a raise your hand on your screen or a thumbs up, because yeah. Okay, Ed, you're alone in this. Nope. Oh, Steven, you're in. Good. Mike, you want one? You could play with one. That'd be fun.
I have a couple of versions of these, but maybe not from Pocket. I have them from some other actors that have made them in the past. So yeah, I think they're very cool.
Cool.
Susan, you got new digs there. Look at your office.
They left me a plant, yeah. I'm struggling to find the thumbs up buttons.
We'll give you a virtual thumbs up. Yes. Jeff, do you mind putting that link in the chat?
Oh yeah, yeah. I will give me one moment, Daisy. I'm gonna copy it into the chat.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is going to be fun. So I'm excited to play with one myself. So
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out how we want to support Repowering Schools, but we know that we want to.
yeah. Well, we
love that you're
appreciate it.
working on it, and
this is a great network of folks to help us get creative about what that might look like too. So maybe
Cool.
we'll talk a little bit more about that. Awesome. Well, thank you, Jeff. You're more than welcome to stick around as we just continue on with our around the room and updates, if you want to stick around and meet the rest of these folks. But
yeah, I'll stick around for a little bit. I've got to run here kind of soon. Unfortunately, I'm working today and have a fair number of other meetings I need to prep for, but I will stick around for a little bit.
Understood. Well, thank you. And with that, I know Becky and Mike are both here. And so I thought maybe if you guys wanted to give us some updates from the Kidwind and Need world, that would be fantastic.
Becky, you want to go first? I can go first too.
Sorry, yeah, I guess, sure. You were on. I just thought you would go first. Yeah, sure. things are good here at Need. We've got a lot going on, a lot of teacher workshops this fall. I think we have like 40 already on the calendar. So definitely encourage your teacher networks to look and see if we've got something in your area. We're also, as part of the funding we do currently still have from NREL, are going to do one of our wind workshops as an online workshop in a few weeks, just to get more access to more people. I'll put the link in the chat. If you've got teachers who are interested, we'd love for them to join us. Got a lot of teacher conferences we're going to too. So if you or any of your teachers are at your state science teachers conference, they should all be on our calendar. But I think we're at like 15 teacher conferences this fall. We'd love to have your teachers join us, stop by, see us, join us for sessions. In terms of curriculum and new curriculum, I don't know the last time I was on the call. I feel like we took summer off and
We did.
no idea what time and space mean anymore. But I think I mentioned that we did a careers piece for young kids, for like primary kids, and that's on our website now. We also, for those of you who are familiar with our Science of Energy curriculum, which is pretty popular with teachers because it meets a lot of their standards, we also wrote a curriculum that came out this spring that is the same concepts and some of the same materials, but it is again for little kids. So we had it for like upper elementary and above, and now we have a similar activities for those primary kids. And then also the other thing that I think more recently came out is a big revamp on our transportation fuels and transportation curriculum. So all of those are on our website. They're all in the like new section of our website, kind of what's new on the shop. But lots of good things going on there. So we continue to do a lot of workforce development things. So, whether it's CAST tests or getting kids ready to go work in the field, I think that's increasingly been some of our focus. But lots of good things, lots of opportunities, I think. So if you've got teachers who are interested, make sure they're signing up and getting info from us because always a million things going on. But
Yeah. I did notice, Becky, and I don't know if anybody else is on the website frequently, but I have not been on in a while, and you changed everything, and it taken me a long time to find your curriculum.
oh yeah, we did it. I think it launched. It's funny. You've started a website so long ago. I feel like it's been there for like ever because I looked at it from the time we started developing it. But yeah, I think it was the spring that we launched the new website. So yeah, new look, new feel, new shop, which was probably like the big difference that you're finding, Remy.
Yeah, just trying to find curricula like that. I used to remember where to go to find it. It took me a while
Yeah.
to find it. It's all in the shop, so you got to go to the shop, and then you can find everything. It's super
Yeah,
clear.
it's
I
all in the
didn't have
shop.
to go
Like
there.
we just moved shops essentially to better integrate to our website. But still working on perfecting that. So it's always a process, I feel like, anytime you make a big move like that. But it's all still there. It's all there, all downloadable. Those e-publications are all still available as well. So all still free. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, that's great. Thank you for that. Mike, did you want to
Yeah.
say anything?
Yeah, Kidwin's here. We're, despite the best efforts of our new administration, trying to kill off who we are and what we do, we survive at a much smaller rate. And we are going to be doing we have actually some what I'll call targeted cohort trainings across the United States where we're deeper diving with a few school districts, which is interesting. And we still are going to support Kidwin challenges around, any of our regional partners who are doing stuff. We do not have the resources to sort of help any of those things sort of happen other than publishing rules and guidelines and things like that. We have lost, I think pretty much every federal grant we had, which kind of kept the baseline going. So that means there won't be, that keeps the lights on a little bit. I will say the one bright light is We still retain funds on our battery and storage cohort that's been developing a ton of activities. I was just reviewing. We have like 30 activities around batteries and storage, teaching the public about these things. And it turns out if you thought people didn't like solar and wind, they really hate batteries turning into fires in local communities. So if we don't start educating the public about that, good luck. Your storage project will go to die. It's happening kind of all over the United States right now. So we are sort of working on how do we sort of answer those community questions in those spaces. So yeah, that is a little bright light. It is very unclear whether Kidwin Worlds will happen next year. We're not sure we have funding for that. Recharge is tied to Department of Energy funding. If that continues, then we can do it. So we'll do that there. And we're trying to get smaller and survive. So we're still here. We're just gonna not be as big as we were the last few years. So it's all good.
Awesome. Well, we're glad everybody is surviving. I know that's kind of the mode that we're in here. I've talked to some other folks around the Kidwind community about, you know, our respective challenge seasons, just like getting it done to the degree we can and not doing anything more than that. So awesome. Well, yeah, well, we'll just keep supporting each other and hopefully we'll get through this tough time together. But how about everybody else? How's the semester starting? You guys want to go around the room and say hi? I can call you out, or Ed, you're in my top corner. So
Sure,
sorry.
thank you. Thank you, Remy, I appreciate it. So yeah, I spent the summer doing a lot of professional development, had an opportunity to work with Mike at Recharge and yourself, and then attended the Create Energy Storage System Institute, where then I was able to connect up with Terry from NextEra Energy. So we actually have folks from NextEra coming here to Arizona to talk to one of our classes on the 22nd of October. We're going to show them some of the projects we have going on here and see how much we can develop a relationship with them to help prepare our students for careers in the renewable energy area.
That's awesome. I love the industry engagement there. That's great. Stephen, you're next on my screen. How are you doing?
Not too bad. This is my first day back on campus in like 2 or 3 months, I think it's been. So,
Well, thanks for making time for us.
but it's absolutely always good to do. So, yeah, starting up. As you know, I think I'm an adjunct, so I'm not on campus a great deal, but I'm here today to start teach my wind energy course starting today for the coming semester. I'll say as well, yeah, things are tough. Interesting enough, my enrollment in my classes is down about 50%. So I hope that's which is, unfortunate. I hope it's just a aberration, but it may be just the influences of what's going on that are causing people to kind of stay away from taking wind energy this semester. But we'll see.
Oh,
And of
I
course,
hope that's not true.
yeah, just only time will tell. It just may be, one of those normal variations, but interesting.
Mhm.
And the other activity, of course, is getting started on the collegiate wind competition. But I think a good number of people on already know that they're going to go a regional approach, 3 regions, 10 universities per region, and they're taking applications now and getting a team spooled up and going and getting an application in is the main activity for this coming month. That'll be the main thing we're working on.
Yeah, so I heard rumor that that we were regionalizing CWC
Yeah.
this year. Is that a thing? And
That's absolutely
Susan,
right.
I
Yeah,
know you're involved in that. Maybe you want to chime in, tell us more.
Yeah, it's not like 100% official, but I think we're 95% sure we might host the Eastern Regional here at Penn State. Timing is finally seemingly good for that with a brand new, well, we have 2 new wind tunnels in the basement of my building here and 2 more coming, but I mean, I think we really just need one of those host the competition. And that one is installed, but it's not been it's only been like started up for like 30 minutes so far. So my colleague Brick is hesitant to get too excited, but we're talking with the organizers later today about it. So, and
Yeah.
yes, also have a team working on applying and seemingly still a lot of interest from students in this space, which is also very encouraging. So, I
And
don't
you've
know.
taken a new position, right, Susan? So you're
Yeah, as of July 1, I'm the Assistant Dean for Academic Support and Global Programs in the College of Engineering here. And
congratulations,
thanks.
I think, right?
Yeah, I am enjoying it. It is quite different. It's a lot of managing people, but I am still advising our Wind Club team, doing outreach. I figured I was really volunteering to do all of that stuff before, so I can continue to volunteer to do it
Volunteer.
now. Um, Adding the hosting the competition is just a slight addition to that, but yeah, it's going okay. I have two other really kind of, I don't know, it just hit me yesterday how oddly this is hitting, but we have two NSF projects that have recently been funded. And, you're probably not going to hear any news about this stuff, but one is in a $5 million STEM Pioneers grant that my colleagues with CSATs just announced on LinkedIn yesterday.
Amazing.
And there is the picture they're putting with it is of kids, working on their Kidwind turbine. And it's a portion of it, but I think they're partnering with West Virginia and
Yeah.
New Jersey.
Yes.
I know about this one. They
Yeah.
were pretty psyched that they got that, Susan. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stephanie's happy to have a job.
Yeah. So this is really good news. But then my colleagues also got a research grant. They don't use the word wind energy in it, but it is all about rotor scaling and using some of our research facilities. We have a compressed air wind tunnel. And the focus is wind energy, but I don't know if it just
Without
didn't
saying
have
it.
it. I don't remember if it didn't have that in the description or if they had the opportunity to scrub it. But I had a kind of a bit in that was outreach related too. So I'm like, how did I just come out of this year with being 2 for 2 on NSF grants with a relation to wind? I don't know. So if you need some hope, there's a little bit of hope. But who knows? Maybe they'll still pull them away. I have no idea.
Well,
And
congratulations. That's great.
thanks. And we have teacher training coming up in October 25th on Kidwind, and I think solar the next week, both on Saturdays. So we're still, haven't really done, it's been on my to-do list, but it's got kicked down the road a little bit doing fundraising. That's still something we have to try and tackle. I've got some different ideas for that, but we're kind of used to doing it bare bones, but so
Yeah, it's a
committing
different
to
type
it.
of bare bones, right?
It is. Yeah, I was thinking though, if we do host this CWC regional, like maybe if there isn't a national level Kidwind event, maybe we could at least invite some teams to come there.
Have discussed that with Elise.
Yeah, okay.
Our
Yeah,
team
and I
sort of assessing like if it's is it harder to hold 3 small regional things than maybe one thing at University of Wisconsin is like a discussion that's happening amongst our team.
Okay. Okay.
But we are intrigued with an idea of doing something like, hey, you're at Penn State, everybody from these states go over there and hang out at that event.
Right.
There is talk
Yeah.
about that for
Yeah.
sure.
I talked to Stephanie the other day and I mentioned that idea to her, and we talked about instead of a Kidwind challenge, maybe we would do a Kidwind expo, something that's less
Yeah.
competitive but more celebratory, that we just kind of gather and celebrate all the great things that have happened.
Yeah.
And I told her I would try to find funding for it. So Mike, maybe that takes a little off your shoulders if we can find regional funding opportunities instead of having to put it
I
on
think
you.
the kids still want to compete, to be brutally honest. It's like
Yeah, I guess so.
honest about it. But yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
But awesome. Well, lots of great stuff happening at Penn State. Thanks, Susan.
Thanks.
Emmanuel, how are you doing? You are on the call for the first time. If you're here still. You might have lost him. If you don't know Emmanuel, Emmanuel is one of our Outstanding Educator Award winners this year. He is in Kenya, I think. He's over there in Africa doing amazing things in solar training. So we're so thankful to have him around hanging on our call. And if he comes back, we'd love to have him introduce himself. Next in my window is Jeff. Oh, Khalid, you're here. How are you doing? You just jumped to the top of my window. Jeff, are you here to give a quick update?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Thank you for having me. My camera's not working right now. I'm having a little issues with that, but I think my microphone's working good.
Yes, we can hear you. Great.
I'm the department chair of here at North Arkansas College, and we are a part of the University of Arkansas system. And we, of course, we have a robust HVAC system and our new energy management program. That's one of the reasons why I'm on this call with you guys. So just to learn what I can and to help get our new program off the ground. We just started this semester. So we've seen some good success with that. We've seen that we have quite a few high school students and college students that are a part of that program. So we're excited, again, great for those students. In our energy management program, just a little bit on that, we do solar and wind as part of the courses there, energy auditing, weatherization, green building techniques, and so forth. We're just glad to be here and be part of this.
Yeah, well, welcome to the network, Jeff. We're thankful they received one of our most recent seed funding awards. So welcome to the community.
We've got the nice, we got this energy management trailer that we'll be able to take around. We have about 23 schools, high schools, I mean, not high school, but college students here that we get to take that on our campuses, our North Campus or South Campus, and just to be able to host that to various locations. So I think that's going to be a big help promoting our programs too. So
That's wonderful. Well, I look forward to hearing how it goes.
absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Daisy, how are you doing?
I'm good. Hi everyone. I don't have a lot to report. I am gonna attempt to gather together a collegiate win team, so that'll be cool if we get enthusiasm. However, I have learned, so the only mechanism that UAF has to do this is to have a team of students do it as their senior design project. And the challenge that I face is that there's so many cool senior design projects nowadays. I sure hope I get picked. But because the students, they have the freedom to do whatever they want for senior design, of course, but hopefully it'll be a cool thing to sell them. I can inject a little bit of optimism.
We'll take it.
Yeah, so UAF historically has had a really strong Department of Petroleum Engineering, and the last like 5 or so years we have had 0 enrollees. And so actually the chair of the Petroleum Engineering Department proposed a new program called Energy Resource Engineering, which looks at both conventional petroleum and renewables and how to integrate those together, which is a huge deal in Alaska because we have a lot of small communities that need diesel and also want as much renewables as possible. And we enrolled our first students last spring, and man, they're so inspirational. I can't believe 18-year-olds are so smart nowadays. But yeah, they're doing great, and they are not at all discouraged by the current climate of this country. They're just like, whatever, by the time we graduate, it'll be over and done with, and we'll be rebuilding a new world as new graduates. So I found that super inspirational. So the first year was only 3 students, and then this year we have 11 new enrollees. So I'm going to meet them in the spring, and hopefully they will be as inspirational. Anyway,
That's wonderful. We should have them give a webinar to everybody in the industry.
Oh, totally. Like, hello, we're 18 and we are not as discouraged. So all you guys need to quit whining.
They don't have to make payroll, Daisy. That's the problem. If I didn't have to make payroll, then I'd be happy to.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that vote of positivity. Who's next? Khalid, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks, Remy, and thanks everyone. Sorry, I'm joining a little late. I'm not going to take a long time. Yeah, so first you can hear me, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And maybe remind everybody where you teach, just because
Yeah. Thanks. So I teach in the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, Tennessee, mechatronics, and we received the funding twice actually from Remy, and basically we have been for the spring and in the summer actually we have been working on several projects, but the main one was basically developing a cooling system for cars when they are parked. So it's basically solar powered cooling system. We developed two versions, and we're about to test the second one. I have a student that is working on that. The student is very busy. He's working. He has another work actually. He's also he works as a welder, and so I mean having him to work on the project is really good. So it's a really good project, and basically it uses solar power to cool down the cars when they are parked. As you know, every year about 36, mostly babies, 36 babies die in vehicles from the sun. People, for a lot of parents, they forget their kids in the cars, and they die. So we are actually working on a system basically that basically uses a visor. We install solar panels on a visor, and the visor basically once you put it, it automatically runs a cooler. So we actually first built basically a cooling system that is really like an air conditioner. But the problem with it is that it's very low power, 70 watts. Now, if you turn on the air conditioner on your car at full force, at full power, it's actually 5 horse. It can be about 5 horsepower for a medium-sized vehicle. 5 horsepower is we're talking about 3,500 watts. So we have only 70 watts in total. Actually, it's 100, but let's say it drops to 70 watts. So the cooling is not really that great. But we're developing now a second version. That version actually uses drone motors. I actually have one here somewhere here, but so you know the drones, they have actually very tiny motors, but the motor runs at 40,000 RPMs. 40,000 RPMs. So that motor actually can blow air really strong. So actually we developed basically something that a strip that has holes in it, and then the holes are connected into a duct basically that, and then at the end there's a motor. We actually need to test it, but still needs a little more. So we're still actually working on it. But the motors, there are actually 2 motors basically, and these motors one of them blows air in, and the other blows air outside. So it's like anyway. I guess I should show it to you. It's really a good project, and the idea is really good because it can save lives. So hopefully we'll have something really good to show in the next meeting next month.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Well, that sounds really cool. Thanks for that update.
Thanks for
And I think, is it Abdenard? I think you're our last person to say hi. I don't know if I said your name right.
Hey, this is Abdul Saibi. I'm a professor in mechanical and civil engineering at the UVU, which is Utah Valley University. A few years back, I had a dream to probably establish a club on wind energy. We started maybe 3-4 years ago, and we built few models, prototypes, especially in capstone design. And I was hoping to build, to establish this club, Unfortunately, our students crowd is they are non-traditional students. Mostly they have families, they work full time, and they have school, So it's very, very difficult for them to basically get involved in awesome clubs, So somehow I'm still hopeful that one day the club will be established. We had the project. I also was involved in a research project for $1 million from the Utah system of higher education, between myself and from mechanical and 2 other faculty from electrical and computer engineering. I think in one of the meetings, somebody mentioned about us having a tower, you know, the windmill on campus.
Mhm.
I can see it every day there, you know. So it's we're building a new building, you know, and we put this windmill next to it. I know electrical engineering faculty, they are working more onto integrating the solar energy with the wind energy. Maybe if unfortunately also one of the faculty passed away last year, you know, he was the main driver of the whole project. Now I have a faculty, basically my colleague from electrical engineering. If they are still working on that, but we're hopeful that one day, hopefully, we'll have the club and we compete. I met before Susan, you know, back in University of Colorado, Boulder, maybe over 2 years and a half when they had the competition. And we talked about you see the way I saw that all the teams come from these universities. They have like teams of members of maybe 40 to plus or even 80 students. I barely maybe convince 2 or 3 students just to start working on this, you know, because of the nature of their our student, the crowd of our students. They are non-traditional, and they're not really into extra activities because they have to take care of a lot of things. You know. So hopefully one day I will come back here and update you on that we really establish a club, and maybe I need your help in Remy. Maybe if you can see if we can how we can convince students to get engaged into this kind of activity.
Yeah, definitely. I think that we can definitely talk about that. Wonderful. Well, it is so great to hear from all of you. And I hope that you guys continue to have great progress for the next month. We will meet again in October. Keep your eyes out. I have not booked our next speaker, but just for your information, this new format, my thought is to rotate between, you know, research related folks, coursework. So you know, maybe having someone present about an interesting new creative course that they've come up with. Also demonstrating successful industry partnerships. So like we had UVU and RISE talk last year. So if you have ideas or if you have a course or some research that you think others would find really exciting, I'd love to spotlight you all. But if there's no interest in the network to speak, then I will go outside the network and find us speakers to come in and talk to us. But I'm looking at folks like AES. They've worked really well with the University of Richmond locally to do some really cool research and things. So a great industry partnership. I've reached out to some of our seed funding winners who are doing course development to come and talk about their courses that they've developed. So like I said, if you have thoughts, ideas, or you'd like to volunteer to be a speaker one month, please feel free to reach out to me. I think you all have my email, but it's just Remy at Repowering Schools. .org. So I'd love your thoughts and feedback of who you'd like to hear from, because otherwise you're stuck with me making this up as I go. So I value your input. And with that, I think that is our agenda for the day. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys around if I see you at an upcoming event or something like that. But Susan, I'll likely see you. I think at that training in November for the solar will be me. So I think I'll be there, maybe.
That's awesome. Cool.
And otherwise, I look forward to seeing you guys around.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Email me.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Remy. Thanks, everyone.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Remy. Take care.
Yeah, you bet.
Mike, good to see you again.
You're on mute, Mike.
Ed, I'm just about to connect you. AES wants to give you some money for work done in Tucson. So
Oh my gosh.
you to a couple folk there. don't do anything for free for these guys. Everything is money attached to it. So just take some money from them. So deal.
Yep.
Take care.
Appreciate that. Yeah. So
Thanks.
I don't know what to tell these folks at this Rice Middle School that I'm working with to promote Kidwin if we're not going to have anything beyond, but we're going to still push it.
Let me know,
At least get
like,
the teachers going.
yeah, you know, just tell me what you think, Ed. You know, we are just like tightening everything down to the like with, you know, ratchet clamps and whatever, just to try to like navigate through. So let me know. But I do think AES generally wants to support work in your area. And then I know there's women, there's Holly and Michael Hune. They both have Arizona's a real focus for them, and they're giving a decent amount of money to Willow Bend, and then they want to do stuff in the South with you too. So we
Great.
will, you know, like tell them all your. I told them like,
Okay.
you know, I don't know, I don't know where your projects are, but you should just give Ed money, and he will do good things in solar and wind for you in the state. And then so hopefully they listen to me, and I'm going to push that pretty hard. So.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm connected to Elizabeth Jones about the project we're working with this middle school. And one of our foundations on campus that focuses primarily with the indigenous population and grants. When I said something to them, I said, hey, here's what I want to do. Well, our funding is all out to support, but you know, they said, oh, here's $1,500. Can you use it? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's a good
yeah. I think
start. So
the other person I'll push on you too is Invenergy locally. They've used all their corporate funds with us, but they locally are really interested in what you're doing too, Ed. So I will see if
perfect.
we can get them to, you know, you have a lot going on in the Tucson area, so they're kind of interested
Yeah.
in what's going on down there. So yeah.
We have a lot of schools that are really looking to jump on board, so we want to
It's
push what
always
we
the
can.
case you start it, get going, and then nobody funds it. Like this has happened to me like more times than I can count. Like all of a sudden, like, hey, we want to do that now. You're like, hey, guess what? We're out of money. So like, hey,
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
ouch. Yeah, that's been our problem.
So
Appreciate
cool.
it. So,
Well, I'm glad you got home and got some rest, Ed. You were on the road pretty hard.
yeah, well, and then I got stuck in Madison and I couldn't get out of there. You know, flying standby has its issues. And so I ended up having to go to Chicago and then go to Nashville for a couple of days. Saw family, but then I had to buy a ticket home. But, you know.
Ed, you are a road warrior.
Hey, you do what you can, right? You save money for your department, right? And you think you get reimbursed sometimes.
You're
So,
a nice
anyway.
man. Good deal, man. Good deal. Take care.
All right. Good to see everybody. Thank you again. Remy, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for being on, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to visit with you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let me get down to